In today's session, we'll be talking about modules. So modules are basically a Python file which contains different functions and variables which you would like to use here in within your script. So for example, you're writing a script and you are supposed to use or you're required to use time time functions and all. So you need to import that module here. So let me import time. So what we're doing, we are importing a time module in our script. So it's here. Once you import the time, then you can start using all the functions available within the module time. So module is nothing but a Python file where we have kept all our functions, variables, and all of the stuff. So now I can use, for example, there is one function we have is time dot sleep where you can put. So normal in our test automation, whenever there are two steps in between, we need to have a gap. So this is how you can do. So let me use this and show you how it goes. So print hello, and there is a time gap off. Then I can print hi, and let me right click and run it. So you can see hello here, and now it's waiting for 5 seconds, and now you can see hi is here. So this is how it works. So here we just imported an existing module. So let's see how we can create our own module. Okay, I'll delete this. So I'll take you back to the function file which we have created here in previous session here. So what we did yesterday when we were talking about functions, we created this file. So let me copy a function from here and see how it works. So okay, I'll take this one function. We have my list. So I'm going to create a new module. So just make sure whenever you're creating a module, you create in root folder. So here we have root folder as learn test automation Python. So you should create your module here because that is the very first place where Python starts looking for modules. So modules here will we can say like we will be creating our function library. Okay, so I'm just clicking right click new a Python file and I'll name this as reusable function library. Okay, and in this I have a function and the function name is print my list. So what print my list does, whatever parameter you will be passing to this function, this is gonna print the element of that list. So this is the function, just the definition of function. I'm not calling, I'm not doing anything. This is the very first member of this reusable function library. Let me define one constant variable just to show how we can access. So here I am defining, let's say you have when we do automation, we do have different URLs or different environments. So I'll say it's a QA URL equals to let me say qa.com. Similarly, let me define a dev URL, and here I'll say whenever you define these, use capital letter. It's not dev URL, and then I'll say dev.com. So in this reusable function library, we have QA URL of variable, dev URL of variable, and we do have a function. Similarly, you can have hundreds of function within, and usually we have, when we are on actual real project, we do have. So now let me go back to another Python file, which I have already created, and the name of that Python file is modules.py. And here I have a list. my list equals to, okay, and I need, now I want to call, I don't want to write that function here because we know we already have a function defined in the reusable function library which can print my list. So instead of rewriting a function, I am going to call that. So I'll say import, and then my function name is reusable function library. So you can see already name is there in dropdown. So this is how you do it. So this is the way we should do. We should keep all our function library at one place. This is a reusable function library. Similarly, you can have multiple function libraries, or you can call that as modules. So now I'm going to use that. So reusable function library dot, what's wrong? Why did I spelling mistake? Anyway, I'll go with that. Dot print my list, and in that list I need to pass my list. Okay, so let me run it. This time I'll use this button. So you can see I'm able to print. So what I did, I just, okay, now let me access another the variables we have. You can see it here. We have dev URL and QURL coming up from there. Okay, so I can print that too. Print usable function. Okay, execute it, and you can see the result is here. So this is how we define modules, and we can access. So there are different way accessing the elements from a function from a module. So this is one way. Another way is import reusable. For example, I did a spelling mistake. It's not reusable, but it's a big name, so I'll just change this as art. Okay, and instead of using reusable everywhere, I can simply use this. You can see R is here, and R. Okay, let me execute it, and the same result. So this is another way. So this is we call as a module, and I ask you to keep this in a root folder. But it's when what if you have 5 or 6 such modules, then that doesn't make sense keeping, and it's hard to identify what is there. So we should always create one folder, and within that folder we should keep that. So let me create a folder here within the root folder, or you can say directory, and I'll say function library, that is parent folder, and I'm going to keep this reusable function library. Cut from here and then paste in function library. Now, if you have multiple, let me create one more, and I'll rename that as a Python file. That was the reusable, and this is general function library. Okay, so similarly you can have similar other modules or function libraries, and that is placed in this folder. This folder with where is commonly known as packages. So package is a folder which holds all different modules, and there is one thing which we do with packages, how Python identifies this directory is a package. For that, we'll create another file, and we'll name that file as underscore underscore init underscore underscore. It should be a Python file .py. So whatever folder, have this file underscore underscore init underscore underscore dot py is considered as a package by Python. So, so packages are nothing but a folder or a directory which contains different or multiple modules. Here we have multiple function libraries, and there is a file which is called as which is named as underscore underscore init underscore underscore py, and that's how Python identifies this directory as a package. Okay, so now let's call different members of the package or modules. So here we are in init. I'm going back to my, I'll delete everything from here. I'll just import. Now you see it's not coming up. So you can, that's the reason earlier I asked you to keep your file within the root folder. Now all those function libraries or those modules are within a package. So you cannot directly access that. So for doing that, we are supposed to from function library import reusable as R. And now you can play with this. Print R dot dev URL. Okay, let me execute it and run it. So you can see now we can access like this. So from function library you import it, or what we can do. So now if just see one thing here, as soon as I press R, I can see qa.url, print my list, and dev.url. These are the three members which is available in the reusable function library. So another thing what I can do, I can import only one thing. I don't want, because there might be thousands and thousands of entries. So I just want to, all right. So you can see on screen what I did. I am just doing from function library dot usual function library import asterisk. So once you do this, you can directly access the variables. For example, print my list. You need not to say this dot that or that dot this, because you have imported everything from this reusable function library. So here I can simply pass my list equals to first name, comma, last name, and print my list, and run. So you can see it's getting over. So this is the another way you can do. So asterisk means you're importing everything, or if you want to, and as soon as I do, like even I can access dev URL, or I can access QA URL. So everything is there. Whatever is comes from this path, function library dot reusable function library. If you want to just want to import only one specific function, I can do that. So import print my list. That's it. So in this case, dev is not there, QA is not there, but print my list is there. And so here, I'm again executing this, and you can see it's printing the first name, last name. So these are few basic way you can import files, import your function library, or you can import your modules, how to create these modules, and you can create your package. So these are the basic features. So when you are creating the actual scripts at that real time, these packages and modules are very important, very useful